Okay, it's me, Solara, and my buddy Ian Lewis.
Hey,
And I wanted to interview Ian for ages on his view of walking as allness. And then he tells me he's fascinated by quantum transcendence as well. So, yeah, that sounds exciting. So, tell me what it means for you. What does quantum mean for you? What's quantum transcendence? And how do you bring that into your life in practical ways?
Lara, it's one of those funny things. The nature of quantum is allness, and it's not about bringing it in, it's about always being there. And that's quantum. It's a beautiful place because there's nowhere, no time, that nothing that isn't in there with me. And it's just a matter of remembering, staying with it, flowing, and just being there because it's here and I'm it. It's me.
And I know a lot of people would hear that, and some people would go, yeah, and other people would go, what is he talking about? And so what does that mean practically to you? Like, how do you make that your life?
Right. So let's just say that it's rather a large topic. Allness would be a large topic, I guess. Let's think in terms of most people listened a little bit too much to their parents and their society and community and stuff, and they ended up losing contact. I am absolutely sure that young people are closer to it than older people in the majority, and that when born, one is there anyway. So it's really about either regaining or making sure you haven't lost. It's really about going back. But since time is in there with everything quantum anyway, it's more about just making a step into that place one was.
I get that. Yeah. And I think most people would probably agree with that. But you,
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. There's a fabulous energy about it. That's the thing that I love. It's
yeah.
there's only now, 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 now.
But you, of all the people I know, for all the time I've known you, which is over 20 years now, I think, you live it and you drive your car as it. You go walk into the UK Parliament to work on how new laws are passed as it. You walk in nature as it. You climb mountains as it. It's an actual living part of your daily life. Whereas I think in most people, it's something I have to get to and then I forget and lose. But not for you. It's permanent. It's 100% way you've always lived your life.
Yeah, I think that I'll call them squirrels, but certainly people go off at right angles when they should just relentlessly stay on track. I call it the euphoric field because it's such fun to be there. There's absolutely no weight on your shoulders, no stress, no hassle, no nothing. I was driving my car the other day since you mentioned the car, and I was hearing my what do they call it, the Waze system, and I'm always 25% ahead of the time. I have to wait for the thing. I got an email from a friend in New Zealand, and he said, I just can't work with you. Everywhere I mention, you've been, gone, done, sorted, and you're handing it to me. So I sent him an email back saying, this is the billionaire in Wyoming that you're talking about. I'm sure that he'll talk to you. If not, I'll have a go at him.
Yeah, it's like that with you. Like I watch you talk about how you climb mountains and how you're even teaching people at one of our conference how to befriend nettles so they don't sting you. You know, how to walk in nature, or kind of fearlessly, but in a relationship with it that is an allness relationship. And most of those people just loved what you were showing them.
Well, the first thing with Nettles, as an example, is that you are then and they are you. It is really the end of day when you move into this quantum environment. Everything is oneself. And I say distance and time and space, there are no gaps. To be separate, to pull the head off a nettle or to brush against it when it doesn't want to be brushed against is a great example of one being separate. So become one and love it because you're loving yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. And again, people would hear that like a platitude, but it's not a platitude for you.
Oh my.
What do you think? Have you always, all your life, been that way, or was there something that spun you into it at one point in time?
You know, I think I could be said to be the laziest, most freedom-loving, most unstressing person that I can be. That's how I feel, and that's how a lot of people see me. And I think it's because I am in that place. It is a place of allness, and if there's something that rankles, I sort myself out until it's not rankling. Never a disconnection, never a gap, just pure being.
Yeah, I get that. So describe how allness occurs for you then.
Well, there is no distance between something that's solid and something that's energy, something now and something later, something that was, and so on. One can take some opportunities to separate, and that's the point. The quality of one's ability to separate, to be in whatever place one wants, doing whatever one wants, with whatever one wants, and seeing it, bring it in. It's a very strong intention, and I have to say, a few people have mentioned that it's a palpable energy around me, intention. No movement required unless it involves a physical change that's going on. There's no moving towards, no negativity, just flowing energy, mutating, being, absolutely free in time and space. And interestingly, I try to use the word there at times, but I have to take the T off it, and it makes it here. So I'm always there, i.e. I'm always here.
Yeah, like I can imagine when you go, because you've climbed most of the mountains in the world, and I know that you do that in a kind of undaunted fashion. Like, is that because it's not just that you're one with the mountain or nature, but you carry your own safety with you, don't you? You are that, if safety is even a word that you would use. I don't know if that's a word you would use, but
that's a nice one to learn. There's all sorts of beauty in the mountains, and one is one with that beauty. I heard the other day a nice comment that one has three hearts. One heart is oneself, another is love, and the other is the mountains. I just so get that when I'm looking at a mountain, I'm being a mountain. I'm looking at where it would like me on it, if it would like me on it, and I form a route. And I very rarely use guidebooks. Obviously, if I'm with others, it would be wrong to not use a guidebook because I've got to make a judgment, call on their abilities and so on. I've got 100% on always bringing my people back.
yeah.
But I don't bring myself back. You know, if I was halfway up a climb and it was a great place, I'd stay where I was. I wouldn't necessarily go for the top. I'm not much of a gopher. I'm a beefer. I like being there, and that's something very special.
That's beautiful. I love that. You know, I think I said to you the last time we were together that you're like Bear Grylls, but you're not a survivalist, you're a thrivalist.
Great
You're
words.
not, you're not there to survive. You're there to be with the thrivingness, the beauty, the wonder of everything that's around you.
Totally. I go for the enchantment and the meaning-filled presence of being. I think that there's far too much materialism, which is old and dry and uninteresting. You can't do much with it, and it's particularly bad if you've got a bad memory.
I know you even walk through rainforests, don't you, and love it. Not concerned about spiders and snakes as I would be. You're just kind of in sync with it, aren't you, as you walk through the rainforest?
It was funny the other day, you know, in the UK, we've had a very dry start to the year, or the summer, I should say, and we've had some really good torrents, and I've been out in them. To me, life isn't full of problems. You just, no storms. I just dance in the rain.
Yeah, I really do get that. So is there anything that you would say to others who are looking to bring this quantum transcendence and walking as allness into their life? Is there anything you would suggest for them that's a great way to do that?
Yeah, look for the magic. Feel it, see it, be it.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. I would probably say that we've got two eyes. Let's accept that to be in this place, one eye is highly focused on now and being, and the other is focused on allness. And the two of them are one in the end. And one can feel when the two are coming together, because just the incredible power of presence, the knowing all. I mean, it's not just total distance and total time and total everything. It's knowing. That is as much an energy as anything. Just go out, know something, and by going out, I literally mean step your energy away from your body, go to the place the knowledge is, and come back with it. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic. So anything else you'd like to pass on that I might not have asked about yet?
A couple of things. I've just spoken a little bit about the infinite mind, and you know, it's a moment of allness, energetic generosity. You don't hold the energy in, don't stop it or slow it. That'll make you ill. I'd like to know if someone else would like to know more about it, because I'm really happy to have these chats.
Super. The infinite mind. Oh boy, that's one of my faves too. I love that.
Yeah. It's just being in creation, in fun, in beauty, you know. And that infinite mind, of course, encapsulates all of those. Just beautiful.
Yeah, it does. And we can walk as that, can't we?
We can. I've got 3 projects that are going global just at the minute, one of which I started some 20 years ago now, Choose, Change, Become, and I just let the energy go with a load of young people. It's gone around the world. About 20 countries have adopted it, and it's come back again because they say, okay, what's stage 2? So I'm inviting people into that right now. It is just magical.
What I love about watching what you do is it's so kind of effortless, you know?
Yeah. I guess when I touch base and have to work with groups and so on, there's a little bit of the duck paddling like mad, because I want to make sure that I'm not creating a gap between the allness place and the place that the group is. So as we started with this interview, it was exactly that. We've got to stop and just make sure that it's grounded in a good connection for understanding. But yeah, I've got used to it. It's a nice thing to do. It's actually a challenge, another little hill.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me too, I found this year especially, it got easier last year, but it got really easy this year to live and walk permanently in that space of allness, in that space of infinite intelligence, in that space of connection to everything. And in the power and flow of it, and it is magic. It's not power over, it's the power and flow of it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one's energy is everyone's energy, and one plays with it. It likes fun, and it's the fun that brings the magic.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. I think that's exactly true. It is. So many people take life so seriously, whereas, when you come at it with delight, it's a whole different ball game. That's when you enter the magic world of quantum and allness and everything we're talking about. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to separate this thing. A lot of people say connectivity. It's not connectivity, it's unity.
Nice. Say some more about that, unity.
Yeah, there's this thing about going somewhere in order to get it, or changing oneself. It doesn't have that step across. There is no gap. One is, all is, one is all. To get that, to be confident in it, it'll take time, because I believe that there's been eons of effort to separate that. Otherwise, everyone will be universally powerful, universally self-leading, universally capable, and I can actually say there is a group of people that just hate that everyone is having fun all the time.
Well, that isn't you and I.
It's not you and I, absolutely. I just don't get it. But I can see that there's just maybe the smaller you are and more separated you are, the more you must demand that nobody else has fun. Something like that.
Brilliant. I love it. So any last words before we wrap this one up?
Let's leave it there. It's been fun doing this. And I absolutely get that even though I'm watching you through a screen, I absolutely know I'm 100% with you, of you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you very much for sharing your wisdom and your insights and your allness and your magic with us. That's brilliant.
Thank you for the opportunity, Sonara.
Thanks, Ian.